Okay, let's look at question 13. Lucky 13. What do we know? We know that gx is equal to x squared minus 3x. We know that fx is equal to 2gx minus 1 minus 2. Well, what are we to do? Turns out it's nowhere near as difficult as you might imagine. So if that was what gx was equal to, we need to do 2 times gx. So it's 2 times the x squared minus 3x. But wait, see how that's got an x minus 1 there? That just means we sub in x minus 1 wherever we saw x, minus 3 times x. So we make that into x minus 1. And at the end, we're just going to chuck in a minus 2. Now, strictly speaking, in one sense, that's actually answered the question, hasn't it? Because it said find fx in terms of x only. That is in terms of x only. So strictly speaking, we've answered it. But of course, I know you want more. And what would you do? You'd expand the bracket. So you'd make that x squared minus 2x plus 1. Here you'd make this minus 3x plus 3 minus 2 at the end. Expanding further, or collecting like terms might be best, mightn't it? X squared minus 5x plus 4, take away the 2, equals 2x squared minus 10x plus 8 minus the 2, and our final step, 2x squared minus 10x plus 6. Okay, well now, if you're going to be using matrices, it's going to be a little bit trickier, but if you're going to be using the CAS, well, that's just a matter of defining gx to be equal to x squared minus 3x, and therefore the next thing you would do to find out what fx is equal to, you would just type in 2 times gx minus 1 minus 2, and the calculator automatically gives you this answer down here. Now, if it doesn't give it to you quite in that form, there's a little button you can press called expand. And if you do press expand and you expand the expression that you had, maybe it looked more like this. So if you expand that, it's going to lead you right down the promised land to that expression there. Okay, let's pause a minute. Okay, so now we're thinking about the matrices part of it. So we need to understand what everything's doing. So the 2 was doing a dilation of factor 2 away from the x. So if we set up our matrices, x dash y dash is equal to 2 was going to be dilation away from the x-axis, so that's going to be put down here. The x minus 1 is going to be causing a translation of 1 unit to the right, and the minus 2 is going to be 2 units down. Well, that means there's no more dilations and reflections, so that's just a 1, that's a 0, that's a 0, times xy is equal to, oh, sorry, my bad, plus. Now we're just going to put in those pesky little translations. Remember that was 1 unit to the right, so that's going to be positive 1 there, and it was 2 units down, so it's going to be minus 2 there. So just clear that up there. That is definitely a plus and not an equal sign. Well, that's about it for question 13. Lucky 13.